You guys, it's October, the spooky season, my favorite time of the year. So this month, in particular, we'll be taking a deep dive into some of the creepiest mysteries that the internet has to offer. Let's go. Earlier this year, over on the Let's Play channel, I had checked out a game called Iblis. An indie horror game which of course has you trapped inside a creepy haunted house. During the play session, I noticed an in-game painting hanging in one of the game's hallways, a familiar, awful-looking painting that I recalled making the rounds on the internet back in the day. That's, of course, the Anguished Man. Just look at this thing, it's awful. God damn. Now, allegedly haunted items that first gained notoriety through the internet is not a new thing. We just recently covered the Dybbuk box, for instance. Hell, even haunted paintings, the Anguished Man isn't the only one. The Hands Resist Him, the Crying Boy, several come to mind. But the Anguished Man may just be the one that we know the least about. The painting first appeared online in a YouTube video back in June 2010, uploaded by a user named Sean Robinson. The video examined the painting and included some overlaid text describing the painting's origins. This oil painting has been in our family for nearly 30 years. My grandmother kept it in her attic. She said there was something evil about it. Apparently, the man who painted it committed suicide shortly after finishing it. My grandmother told me the artist used his own blood mixed in with the oils. I never believed in ghosts or the supernatural, but I do now. Ever since this painting has been in our home, we have heard and seen unexplainable things. We have seen the figure of a man, but only since we have had the painting. My grandmother told us she used to see a man too. We hear strange noises and crying. This painting is cursed. The video is set to some creepy, intense music. The whole thing, it's getting laid on pretty thick. The video initially had kind of a mixed reception, but the story then really took off less than a year later when a follow-up video was posted. Ghost activity caught on tape, haunted painting update. In this video, we hear from Sean for the first time.
I'm going to record it for approximately 8 hours, see if we can catch some of the activity.
As he gives us a bit of a closer look at the painting. And more importantly, he sets up an overnight camera for 3 nights and shares alleged paranormal activity that occurred, including scraping noises and the door moving on its own. Over the course of 2011, 4 more videos would be posted showing more alleged paranormal activity, including shadows, what looks like smoke, and the painting falling over on its own. The Anguished Man grew in internet notoriety, racking up hundreds of thousands to millions of views on YouTube. And following 2011, nearly 5 years of radio silence. The next video was posted in 2016 with Sean and the Anguished Man painting, which we're seeing for the first time to scale. It was actually larger than I was expecting. It was a short 2-minute video of Sean basically talking about the phenomenon that occurs when he brings the painting out of storage. Also, that it's the only one in existence, it's not for sale, and any others out there are fake. One more video was posted in 2017, which, to date, is the last video update we've received, where Sean basically says the painting is too dangerous to bring out with his family around, which is why no new footage has been recorded. And it has been a while. I mean, the last paranormal recordings of the painting were taken 10 years ago now. But despite that, the painting and the story behind the Anguished Man, they're still popular. Which is saying something because it's the internet. Anyone can claim they have a haunted item or that they live in a haunted house or something, which there is a lot of that out there. But there's something about the Anguished Man that has endured, despite no real new footage surfacing in 10 years, basically an eternity in internet years. Maybe that's in part due to the truly grotesque nature of the painting itself. Again, just look at it. Despite it looking like it's about to buy some chocolate,
what are they selling? Chocolates! What?
It is an absolutely horrifying image. And even people in the comments section and people on Reddit admit to getting a feeling of uneasiness looking at the painting. Which begs the question, is this thing actually haunted? Is it legit? I've said it before on the channel, I am a skeptic through and through, but these things they still fascinate me. Maybe deep down I want to believe. But let's take a look at what we know. Let's take a look at the things that support this painting being legit and things that point to a possible hoax. First, we need to talk about what made this painting famous in the first place, and it's the YouTube videos, the alleged paranormal activity. And I gotta say, as much as I enjoy watching paranormal videos on YouTube, I'm looking at you, Nuke's Top 5.
Top 5 ghosts caught on camera.
I hate them. Just knowing that things can be and are faked all the time, if I'm ever to be convinced of this sort of thing, it'll need to come from a first-hand experience. Anyways, when it comes to the video clips Sean took, it's going to be subjective, of course. It's going to be up to you whether you think these are something paranormal or not. But a couple observations on my part: in the several videos posted, there's only one where the door to the room moves. This also happens to be the only video where the door is visible in the shot, which doesn't give me a lot of confidence that it's not staged. Other users have pointed out that a breathing-like noise like there's someone behind the camera can be heard. Then there's a smoke-like fog in one of the videos, which others have pointed to looking like an incense candle or something like that. Again, these things are very hard to quantify, especially in a potato-quality YouTube video, so nothing definitive here. But okay, you need to give credit. As a piece of art, it's incredibly effective at getting under your skin. It's awful looking. Such a piece would be easy to identify, so if the story was fake and Sean Robinson just found it at a yard sale somewhere or something and came up with a story, by now the original artist would have been tracked down. It would have been identified. But, of course, that hasn't happened. Some believe that it's possible Sean painted it himself, but from what I could find, he has no background in art or anything of the sort. In the 2016 YouTube video, the painting clearly has some wear and tear, it has some damage, and while there's no way to confirm exactly how old it is, it does look old. But of course, there's nothing definitive. There's no signature or anything on the picture, so as it stands, the person who painted the Anguished Man remains a mystery. Where exactly did it come from? Where it was before Sean's grandmother allegedly acquired it is unknown. And that can be interpreted in a number of ways. For some, the unknown origins of the painting can strengthen the claims of it being haunted, being cursed. But a case can certainly be made the other way around. In my mind, if it was a known artist whose suicide had been documented and proof of their blood had been found in the painting, I feel it would legitimize the whole thing to the point that even me, a firm skeptic, would look at it and go, that's probably a haunted-ass painting. Which brings up probably the biggest counter-argument against the Anguished Man's legitimacy. Sean's kept a tight-ass grip on the painting. It hasn't been properly examined, properly investigated, anything of the sort. Access to the painting has been kept extremely limited. The only thing that I could find is in 2013 it was brought to Chillingham Castle as part of a ghost hunting tour. And allegedly during the tour, a dark apparition appeared, witnessed by about 20 people. Eyewitness accounts only, of course. So, make of that what you will. Outside of that, the Anguished Man has remained firmly in the hands of Sean Robinson. Maybe it's to protect people, or it's to hide the fact that there's nothing special about the painting whatsoever. But on the other side of that coin, maybe there's something to be said about Sean's unwillingness to exploit the painting for his own financial gain. Harkens back to the Dybbuk box, the owners of which were quick to cash in on. Interviews, TV appearances, haunted museums, you name it. They milked that thing as much as they could. Though it should be noted that the screen rights for the Anguished Man were sold in 2016, so who knows?
Did Sean Robinson fake the Anguished Man videos? Or was he visited by a demonic entity that used a painting as a doorway from a parallel world? Weird.
But that's about all we got on the Anguished Man. A super creepy painting, now famous thanks to the power of the internet. And one that basically leaves us with just a big, giant question mark, with no definitive answers on where this thing came from, and with it looking like we may possibly never know, the Anguished Man to this day remains a mystery. And you know, maybe it's not a bad thing. Maybe it's more fun not knowing. And as I sit here and try to poke holes in this thing, I don't mean to call anyone a phony. I'm not trying to say that none of this is true, but the reality is every famous haunting or paranormal event is bound to be met with scrutiny. It's been happening forever, It kind of just comes down to you, whether you're a believer in this sort of thing or not. So of course, let me know what you guys think. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. We'll be back with more creepy internet mysteries very, very soon. For videos similar to this one, please consider checking out the playlist, and please hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. It really does help me out a lot. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.